Are you thinking of letting your chickens free range in your garden? My name is Bram. Welcome. I really love chickens. And I have free range chickens that can roam around free through the entire garden. Let me take you outside into the garden and talk about the pros and the cons. Okay, so here we are in the backyard. This is our kitchen, actually, open kitchen. In those containers, in those pots, there are some herbs and vegetables that I planted recently. So I am now going to show you one of the chickens. They are a little bit scared. So this is just a bunch of cuts from the mango tree that we have, so that the chickens can hide under here. So there is one, really beautiful. I like this one. So they are a little bit shy. Oh yeah, sorry for my finger. So this is a papaya tree. I cut it down and I saw new shoots forming, so I'm just letting it grow to see if it will bear fruit. So there's another chicken brooding. So I used to have cages like this where I held some chickens sometimes, but then I figured, I prefer to let them walk around freely. So this is just a rented house, by the way, so it's not, I don't own this house, so I don't care too much about how everything looks, if you know what I mean. So we have a lot of projects going on. There's another chicken. She's also brooding. A mean machine. Mean egg-laying machine, this one. We don't eat the eggs. We are just having them for fun, and they help the yard a little bit. But I will talk about that later after the video. Yeah, now we are going to the front. And there are some chickens there, and yeah, they are a little bit skittish, camera shy, so they are running away. But you see, they have all this space. I guess we have a fence around the area, so but they can still go out through the main gate if they please. So here, this is what happens. They dig the soil up near the roots. So that was an ixora that I recently planted from a cutting. So this is another ixora. For some reason they prefer some plants over others. So yeah, so you can see that chair there before I put, or like that stool, I just put it on there so the chickens will not dig it out. That's my method for dealing with them, because chickens naturally like to take a dust bath, and they tend to scrape soil away near the roots of big trees or just planted plants. So these are some cuttings and some herbs. So I don't want the chickens to mess with them, so I just put them in a laundry basket. So yeah, like I told you, there's a big mess. So this is what we call our hot house. Okay, so here in the back, sorry for the mess. So there's another fence. This time we fenced the plants because they've been eating it quite a bit, and that's the only Thai giant that I have, so I don't want them to destroy that one. But overall, you see, I don't really care to protect my plants. Once they are rooted, your plant should be fine. But you see, I don't have any grass or nothing, no ground cover, not so much, which I really would want, but with the chickens it's impossible. That's my traveler's palm. Destroyed. Okay, those were just some cuttings too. So now let's look back here. The chickens, they must be here somewhere. So we are reaching the end of the video, so I will see you back inside. Okay, welcome back inside. So there are a couple pros and a couple cons as to letting your chickens go mad. So the pros, obviously they tilt the soil a little bit, so that helps. They add manure, so that helps, or they add fertilizer, that helps. They eat harmful insects, that's nice. Here where we live in the tropics, they might chase away a small snail or two, so that's all good. A nice thing too is that you can watch them when we sit outside. I really like to watch them. It's very peaceful, and chickens are just amazing animals to begin with. So well, let's go to the cons. Some cons can be that they destroy your plants. They can eat leaves, they can dig everywhere, and if they find a spot that they really like, they might go there quite frequently to dig up some soil. Your cons also a little bit depends on your chicken's behavior. We had a male cock, a rooster, from a friend of ours. He stayed here a couple days, but then he was too destructive. So, we gave him to a local farmer, and he was really happy with that rooster. So, whether it's a good idea to have free-range chickens in your garden depends on what you want to do with your garden. Again, this is a rented house, so I don't care too much if my projects fail or pass. I will just try again and find a way. If there's no way, I will stop and do a new project. So I just take a lot of cuttings from the plants I buy, and then I try to reproduce them. So in that way, if they destroy a plant, I don't really lose too much. I can just make another test or make another thing. So I don't really lose too much plants because I keep reproducing them myself. So that has a lot of pros, it has a lot of cons as well. If I in the future own my own house and my own yard, I would definitely not let them range free on the garden section of the yard. I would give them a big enough space so they can still free range somehow, but I would either fence off my yard, my garden, and let them have the rest, or fence a big area that they can just roam around free. The reason is because I really like ground covers. Some grass or something would really make it nice. But again, I live in a rented house, so we basically use our garden just to experiment with different things and see how it goes. So to sum it all up, whether you choose or not to let your chickens free range depends on your needs. If you prefer plants over chickens, definitely do not let them free range. But if you can find a schedule, maybe let them free range once or twice a week. That will help. They will not do too much damage in that way. But if you prefer chickens over plants, go ahead, set them free. In my opinion, it's fine, but it just depends on your situation and on the type of chickens do you have and on their character. Some chickens, they might be really destructive, whereas others, they just dig around a little bit and they're off on their way. What I do notice is the chickens that have the space, they feel really happy and at ease. These ones you saw today, they are running away because they can, but without the camera, they are not shy. Anyway, so I hope I gave you some insight. The things I do to protect my plants, if I feel that I need to protect them, is I cover them with a stool, something like that, or I place some fencing around the plant just at the bottom, just trying to make a barrier for the chickens so that they cannot destroy the plant entirely. So what I usually do too is that if I see them digging around, I just check every day, just put the soil back and then wait until the plants are rooted strongly, and then the plants will have no problem. So usually the chickens, they have a particular spot near the plant that they like to dig. They don't dig around like in a circle of 360 degrees. They just pick one spot around the plant that they like to dig, in my experience. So it's not too bad as long as your plant has a good solid root system going on already. If you plant it from a pot, and in the pot it has a solid root system, I think your plant will be fine. If you use a cutting, it's a different story. I think your cutting will be more likely to be destroyed by the chickens because it's so fragile still, especially the roots. So I hope this video helped you guys. Let me know what you think. Please hit the like button if you like. If you didn't like, please dislike, tell me why. Please subscribe if you like to follow me. If you have some advice about how to keep chickens in your garden in a healthy way, please let me know down below. I would like to end today's video with a question. If you were a vegetable, which vegetable would you be? And you guys have been looking at me. If I was a vegetable, which kind of vegetable would I be? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will respond to your comments. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.